Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. So, we are going to take just 1 or 2 minutes for more people to join. So, I think there are people joining in, and we'll be starting in another 60 seconds. I hope I am audible. Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. And I am Professor Kushwaha from Birla Institute of Management Technology, Greater Noida. So, I'm going to interact you and rather brief you about the admission process at BIMTech. So, what I'm going to do is I will briefly tell you about the institute, the admission process, and then probably you can come up with your questions, and we will take each question one by one. So, BIMTech is located in Delhi NCR region. It is mainly located in a knowledge park area, Greater Noida. And BIMTech's vision is developing ethical leaders with entrepreneurial mindset, achieving for sustainability and inclusive growth. And we are backed up by BK Birla Group of companies. Our mentors are uh, Shrimati Sarla Birla and BK Birla, who have recently passed away. And we are backed up by Basant Kumar Birla Group of companies and Aditya Birla Group of companies. And BIMTech offers four full-time residential PGDM program, postgraduate diploma in management programs. And we are AICT approved institution. We have got 6 year of NBA accreditation, A plus grade that is there for all the programs for 5 year duration, and all programs of BIMTech PGDM programs have got MBA equivalence. Now, if I talk about what is MBA equivalence, usually AICT regulated institutions can give PGDM diplomas, and only universities can offer MBA programs or postgraduate degree as MBA. So those student, those who want to go for higher studies, and there are certain time requirement that you should be postgraduate and your degree should be named as MBA. So since we are offering PGDM diploma, so there is a body called All India AIU, All India Association of Indian Universities. So they are giving equivalence of PGDM program as MBA. So any student who pass out from BIMTech would be getting a degree PGDM, but their diploma is going to be equivalent with MBA. So they can go for higher education, or when they are going abroad where postgraduate degree is required as MBA, so it can be treated at par with MBA. Besides that, we have got other accreditations and affiliations like LOMA, which is third party exam center in India for Life Office Management Association USA. This LOMA certification is basically taken up by the student, those who are pursuing postgraduate diploma in insurance business management. Besides that, we also have a dual degree program from CII, that is Chartered Insurance Institute UK. This is also taken up by PGDM Insurance Business Management Program. And BIMTech is one of the first B school in India, rather first institution in India who has got BSIS label. That is one of the coveted accreditation, or you can say achievement of BIMTech, where a business school impact system label for is given by a body called EFMD Brussels. Then we are also aspiring to have AACSB accreditation. The process which is started 5-6 years back, which is going to complete next year, and we are hopeful that we will be having AACSB accreditation by 2021. And if I talk about rankings of BIMTech, BIMTech has been ranked almost within top 10 private B schools in last 15-20 years. Recent ranking is 6th among top private B school, which was done by NHRDN in association with Shine. And by NIRF ranking, which is done by Ministry of HRD, we are ranked 47th in the year 2020. Then some of the initiatives taken by BIMTech in recent time is one of the project that is Project Rainbow by European Union, which is a project given to very few colleges or universities in India. So BIMTech is one of it. We are also having Atal Incubation Center, which is one of the initiative of Modi government, which is taken care by Niti Aayog, where we are looking to develop entrepreneurs, and we guide them, mentor them to run their own startup. Then in CSR initiative, BIMTech has been doing a lot of things. We have recently started a BIMTech Vidya Kendra. It's a small school near Parichok in Greater Noida for the underprivileged students. Then, as I told you, BIMTech offers 4 postgraduate diploma program. One is PGDM, which has got 240 seats. All 4 programs are residential program. In PGDM program, we offers 4 specialization. One is in marketing, finance, operations, HR. The other programs are postgraduate diploma in international business, where marketing, finance, operation is specialization. Then PGDM insurance business management program is there, and PGDM retail management program. And these all programs are AICTE approved. They all are having equivalence with NBA, AIU, that is equivalence with MBA. The batch profile of the currently you can say recruited batch which has joined in 2020, it has got 61% of the male candidate and around 39% of the female candidates. The graduation is spread, or you can say the engineers in totality, the number of students, those who have joined, only 26% of them are engineers. Rest are coming from different streams like commerce or science or humanities, or even there are students coming from BHM and pharma background. We have students coming from 25 states. Most of the students, because since we are based in northern India, and northern India covers major part of the India, so around 70% of the student comes from northern India, which you can say out of 420 intakes, 70% of the students are coming from northern India, and we have good number of students coming from eastern part, southern part, and western India. In the batch of 2020 and 22, that is the current batch, first year batch, around 25% of the students are there with work experience. We give minimum weightage to the candidate, those who apply to us having 12 months of quality work ex. And I will be talking about how much of weightage is given when I will discuss about the selection criteria. Then if I talk about the academic profile of the student, those who have joined in batch 2020, 74% of the students are throughout first class. So there is a weightage given to candidates, those who apply to us, if they have got 10th, 12th graduation, all throughout 60% plus. So in the current batch of first year, we have 74% of the student coming with 10th, 12th graduation as first class. Now, most of the student would be interested in knowing about the placement scenario at BIMTech. So the recently passed out batch of 2018-20, the average salary package which was given to students for PGDM program was 8.27 CTC was there, that is 8.27 lakh per annum. For international business program, it was 8.18 lakh per annum. For insurance business management, it was 8.03 lakhs per annum. Retail management, it was 8.04 lakhs per annum. The highest Indian salary for PGDM program was 18 lakh, and international or foreign salary was 23 lakh. IB, it was 13.22 lakhs, and highest foreign salary for IB was 18 lakh. Insurance, there was no international placement, but the highest salary was 10.25 lakhs. For retail management also it was 10.30, and the highest salary, foreign salary, was 23 lakhs. So in a batch of 2018-20, we were having 411 students, of which 96.59 students were placed in 117 companies. So around 397 students were placed out of 411. And if I talk about the other around 3.4% of the students, they opted for their family business, and because of varied reason, they did not sit in the campus selection process. Then BIMTech also gives opportunity for a student to go for exchange program in foreign universities. We have got around 64 MOUs with foreign universities. So there is a Center of International Alliances which takes care of student exchange programs. So mainly students are going to partner universities or the allied universities for completing their 1 or 2 trimester there, and even some of the students from these universities or colleges or B schools comes to BIMTech for completing 1 trimester, which is for 3 months, or maybe they are coming there for 2 months also. So BIMTech offers different scholarships to the student given by these partner universities for pursuing their 1 or 2 trimester in these colleges. Then since we started in 1988, BIMTech has got around a base of 7,000 plus alumni. Some of the senior alumni, those who passed out 20 years back, they are now at CXO position. Around 300 senior alumni are at heading these corporates. 350 alumni are entrepreneurs. We have some of the alumni, those who are there in abroad. Around 400 plus alumni are there in various part of the world. 20 alumni are social entrepreneurs. They have taken activities, CSR related activities, or they have been working on the social change. And BIMTech has got alumni chapters across India. There are 9 alumni chapters, including Delhi NCR. We have chapters in metro cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Chandigarh, Calcutta, and Ahmedabad. Besides that, we also have international alumni chapters in London, Dubai, Canada, US, and Singapore. We have some of the distinguished alumni, those who are working in companies like JP Morgan, or you can say Southland Global Services, HP, Google. They have been working with Hindustan Petroleum, Tata AIG, Daiichi, HCL. So they all are working at very senior position, you can say CFO or CXO level positions. Now, if I talk about infrastructure of BIMTech, we are spread across 7 acres of land. And we have got full-fledged, well-equipped facilities in the hostel. Separate hostels are there for boys and girls. It's a completely fully air-conditioned, Wi-Fi enabled residential campus. For boys, in the first year, we have got a facility which is close by, around 1 kilometer from the main campus. Their complete facilities are as same as we are providing for the girls in main campus. The campus has got complete facilities related to sports or gym, or there is a music hut, there is a cafeteria. We have got mess to cater almost 1,000 students at one point of time. We have got full-fledged medical center. In the academic block, we have got classrooms which is all technology enabled. There is a seminar hall and a library which is stocked with good number of latest journals and reference books, management reference books. And other facilities, if I talk about, BIMTech has got saloon or tuck shop is there. We have got a shuttle bus service where, since we are located in Greater Noida, which is around 20 kilometers from Noida or Delhi, it is 30 kilometers. So we play regular bus service from campus to you can say Noida or the nearest metro station, from where student can commute twice a day. Now, coming to the admission process of BIMTech, we have already opened our application form from 7th of September. The application is live at the moment, and the cost of the application is 2,000 rupees. One can go to BIMTech admission page, or they can reach out to us through various campaigns we are doing, and they can fill the application form. Now, there are different categories of admission which BIMTech provides. One is the general category, or we call it as the merit category. Then there is a 5% of the seats which is reserved for candidates coming from economically and socially challenged society. Then sponsored and NRI sponsored candidates, corporate and NRI sponsored candidates are there. So 10% of the seats are reserved for these students. So if I tell you, there are total 420 seats. PGDM program has got 240 seats, and there are 60 seats in each program, that is IB, retail and insurance program. In PGDM program, other than 240 seats, we have got approval of 27 additional seats, which is to be filled through candidates, those who are people of Indian origin, or overseas citizens of India, or any candidate who is coming to study in India or at BIMTech from the SAARC nations. So those additional 27 seats are there for those category of students. So out of this 420 seats, 85% of the seats are going to be filled through general category, 5% through economically and socially challenged candidates, and sponsored category 10% of the seats in each program. Now, the basic eligibility criteria to apply at BIMTech is, as per AICT, it is 50% in graduation, and the pattern should be 10 plus 2 plus 3. So those candidates, those who are going to appear for the final year examination in year 2021, that is the admission year, they can also apply. And they can submit their, as per AICT, it says that they can submit their final result by October 30th. So that is the norm. But those who have completed their graduation before 2021, they have to provide the mark sheet with minimum 50% aggregate marks. Now, that was the basic eligibility criteria, but for different diploma programs, PGDM or international business or insurance business management program or retail management program, there is different exam eligibility criteria. That these are the national level CAT management entrance test. So for PGDM, we accept a score of the CAT, ZAT and GMAT. That is CAT 2020, ZAT 2021. That is going to be in January 2021, or GMAT score of 2020 and 21, that is also applicable. We have also introduced CMAT. We have started accepting CMAT score. So CMAT student, those who are appearing in 2021, they are also eligible to apply for PGDM program. The minimum cutoff till last year for getting shortlisted for the selection process for PGDM program, either a candidate should have minimum 70 percentile in CAT or ZAT or GMAT or any of the best score out of these three entrance exam if he or she has appeared in. But for CMAT, it was 95 percentile. So this is the minimum cutoff eligibility for getting shortlisted for the interview process. For IB program, CAT, ZAT, GMAT, minimum requirement for getting shortlisted is 65 percentile, and in CMAT it is 90 percentile. For insurance and retail program, a candidate can apply with CAT, ZAT or GMAT score any of these three or maybe the best out of these three with minimum of 60 percentile and MAT and CMAT score of 70 percentile. So that is the eligibility criteria for getting shortlisted for the interview process. Now, once the candidate is shortlisted for interview process, they are supposed to go through the personal interview and writing ability test. So there are different weightages given. Now this is a common process for candidate appearing for selection process under any category. Either it is general category, merit category. General and merit category, we call it general or merit category, which is going to fill 85% of the seats or 5% of the seats to be filled through economically and socially challenged students, or 10% through sponsored category, either NRI or corporate sponsored. So the selection process of VAT and PI is common for everyone, and the merit is going to be prepared separately. Now this is the parameters, various parameters and weightages which we calculate for preparation of the merit. So any candidate who has appeared for the interview process and gone through the VAT process, so personal interview weightage has got 25%. Interview is of 25% weightage. VAT, that is writing ability test, is having weightage of 10%. The national level exam, either CAT, ZAT or GMAT, or if a candidate has given multiple exam, more than one, the best score will be considered and their weightage is going to be taken as 35%. We give weightages for the candidate's past academic record, that is 10th-12th graduation. If it is throughout first class, the maximum weightage given is 10 and it is on differential basis also. If a candidate has got any of the two more than 60%, then the weightage goes 8% out of 10. Then this year we are also including a weightage of 2% for the engineering students. So there is a weightage which would be additional weightage given to the engineering student to have a good mix of a student coming from engineering and non-engineering background. Then to attract more students from southern states and to have good regional diversity in the batch, 3% weightage in the general category merit list is given to student coming from southern states like Kerala, Andhra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Puducherry, and also from J&K. And for candidate applying under economically and socially challenged category or from minority communities or economically weaker section, minority communities like SC, ST or OBC, they also get additional weightage of 2%. And to have good mix of gender diversity in the class, female candidates are given 3% weightage. Now these weightages are going to be calculated for preparation of final merit, but for sponsored category there is no weightage for and there is no eligible mandatory requirement that the candidate gives CAT, ZAT or GMAT. So that is not going to be considered. So personal interview, instead of 25% weightage in general category, here it becomes, in sponsored category, it becomes 35% weightage. VAT becomes 20% against 10% in general category. Past academic record becomes 20% weightage against 10% in general category. And engineering students would be getting 4% weightage against 2% in the general category. and rest of the selection process, candidate coming from southern states or engineering background or economically weaker section, or having or the female candidates would be getting additional weightage. So these weightages are well defined on our website. You can just Google them or visit bimtech.ac.in. There is a FAQ, there is a brochure available, there is information available on the admission page. So one can visit these pages to see different weightages in the selection process. Now, talking about the fee for different program. So as I told you, all four programs are 2-year residential program. Though in the COVID times, as per the government regulations and guidelines, students are not there on campus, or you can say are not there in the hostels. The classes are going as per the advisory in online mode. But usually these students are there in the campus because it's a 100% residential program. So tuition fee for PGDM program, which is just the tuition fee for 2-year program, PGDM and international business, is 12 lakh rupees. For insurance business management and retail management, it is 9 lakh rupees. And as I told you, there is a 27 seats in PGDM program other than 240 seats. That comes under supernumerary category. So the fee for candidate applying under supernumerary category is also same, that is 12 lakh rupees. Now, candidate, those who could not give national level test, or they wanted to take admission under NRI or corporate sponsored category, the fee for PGDM program is 17 lakh. IB also it is 17 lakh. For insurance business management, it is 15 lakh, and retail management, it is 15 lakh for sponsored category. Now, besides tuition fee, since it is a full-time residential program, the hostel and mess charges are going to be for lodging charges, that is hostel charges, it is 1,14,000. This is a fee for 1 year. For mess charges, it is 60,000 rupees per year. So you can say tuition fee is 12 lakh rupees for PGDM, and there would be additional cost of around 1,75,000 for 1 year for hostel and mess. Now, besides the scholarships which is given to the students if they are applying with CAT, XAT or GMAT score and they finally join institute, if their score is above 85 percentile and they have joined the institute, they would be getting a scholarship of 2 lakh rupees, and this scholarship is going to be waived off in their tuition fee on each 6 monthly installment. So every 6 month installment will be reduced by 50,000 rupees. And any candidate, those who apply from SAARC countries or take admission under supernumerary category, they would be also getting scholarship of 2 lakh rupees. So supernumerary categories, but candidate coming from SAARC countries only. It is not any candidate who comes under supernumerary category because they are OCI or people of Indian origin, but not coming from the SAARC countries will not have the scholarship. So there are 10 scholarship of 2 lakh rupees each, which would be given to only candidate taking admission under supernumerary category but coming from the SAARC countries. Now, besides scholarship at the entry level, we also give scholarship at during their academic you can say learning. During the each trimester, there are 2 scholarship given to the meritorious candidates, those students, those who are topper in the class. So since for PGDM program we have got 240 seats, so there are going to be 4 sections. Each section will have 60 students, and each batch of 60 students, any student who tops the class, they would be getting a scholarship of 50,000 rupees per trimester. So we have got 6 trimesters, but out of 6 trimesters, there are 2 trimesters for the SIP, that is summer internship, that is industrial you can say training or summer internship. So these students, those who in the 4 terms, any student who tops the class would be getting a scholarship of 50,000 rupees. The second student who's ranked second would be getting a scholarship of 25,000 rupees. Now, since we have already opened our application on 7th of September, the first round of interview process we are going to conduct like every year on in second week of December. So application is going to be closed on 2nd December for the first phase of interview process, and this phase is called early round or the profile based round, for which the result is going to be declared only after the declaration of CAT ZAT results, that is somewhere in the second week of Feb. So candidate, those who are applying now, they would be called for interview process in the second week of December, because the application is going to be closed, and this round is known as early round or the profile based round. Now, what we understand by profile based round, or how candidates should understand it, it is a round since candidates are going to appear for CAT exam or ZAT exam in November, and the results are going to be declared in January. For ZAT, they would be appearing in Jan, and maybe by Feb first week the ZAT results are going to be declared. MAT results, because the students are appearing for MAT exams in September or December or February, so some of the student would be having MAT results. So any candidate who is going to apply till 2nd of December, they are going to be shortlisted based on their profile. Now, profile is categorized, or the definition for the profile is any candidate who applies on or before 2nd of December, they will be shortlisted on the basis of their academic profile, either 10th, 12th graduation, or any of the two should be 60% and above, or they should have quality work experience, minimum of 12 months. They would also be shortlisted based on the engineering background. So these are the three criterias. On different permutation combination, they would be shortlisted, and their interview is going to be there in the month of December, second week of December. But the final result is going to be declared only once they get their scores updated. That is the CAT score or the ZAT scores, which is going to be declared in the month of January or Feb first week. So final offers are going to be made only by end of Feb, and they will be getting the offer letter, and they are supposed to remit the fee within 21 days of time. So the early round of interview we used to conduct in 6 cities, including Greater Noida, that is Bangalore, Cochin, Calcutta, Pune, Varanasi, and in Greater Noida also. Since COVID times are there, and students or we also don't want, because of the health and safety issues, even our faculty or student can't travel. So if everything goes normal, at least by December there won't be frequent movement. So the first round is going to be online. So interviews would be on online platform like Zoom or Skype. But usually we conduct these interviews on face-to-face basis in cities like Bangalore, Cochin, Calcutta, Pune, Varanasi, and Greater Noida. Now, after we conduct the interview and the selection process for the first round, since we closed the application on 2nd of December, the application would be again opened in the first week of December for the next phase, and it would be closing on 31st January. The interview or the selection process will take place in second week of Feb. Results would be declared by second week of March, and they would be getting the offer. Those who are successfully making into the merit, their results would be declared. They will get the offer, and by April their fee we would be receiving. The documentation and submission of fee will be done by first week of April, and usually we start or commence our session from 15th of June. But this year it got delayed for the obvious reasons of lockdown and COVID, and we are hopeful that by next year things would be normalized. So second round of interview again, it used to happen in 15 major cities, so that students are getting an opportunity to meet our faculty. Our faculty used to travel to these cities like Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Cochin, Dehradun, Hyderabad, Indore, Ranchi, Calcutta, Guwahati, Mumbai, Pune, Varanasi, and Greater Noida. Now, if since the phase two round is going to take place in Feb, if everything goes well and we are allowed to move and we get good response from a student, those who can come down to these centers for the interview process, we would be conducting in these 15 cities. And if by chance if they miss it, it can be accommodated over online platform, that is either Skype or Zoom. So that depends upon how things are going to be in next 3-4 months. If things are normal, we would be conducting interview selection process for the phase two in the month of Feb in these 15 cities. Otherwise, it is going to be there on online platform. Now, once the student get the you can say offer letter, they are supposed to make payment for joining the institute or accepting the offer. And as I told you, we start our session in the month of June. Usually by 15th of June, the new session commences. And since every student has got more than one offer, or sometimes they need to decide upon the result declaration from other preferred institutions. So BIMTech follow the complete refund policy, which is you can say formulated by AICTE. So there we follow the complete rules and regulation. If any student want to take withdrawal before the commencement of the session, so within 10 days time their fee is refunded. But if the session has started and we are not able to replace that seat, then the complete fee is going to be forfeited. But if the fee is if the seat is going to be replaced or filled by the candidate in the waiting, then only the fee deduction is on the basis of the pro rata basis. For the duration the candidate was there in the campus, they have taken up the classes, only for that duration the tuition fee and the hostel fee is going to be deducted. And as I told you, since once the student get the offer, most of the student look for education loan facility. So BIMTech has got tie-up with some of the nationalized banks like Union Bank or Bank of Baroda is there. Then Canara Bank is also there. Then there are certain privatized bank like Axis Bank is there, or SDFC Credila is there, or Avamse Financial Services are there. So they give special interest rate for repayment of loan to these students. So we would be sharing the details, and these details are available on our website also. For candidate, once they get the offer, they can get in touch with the officials of these bank, and they get complete detail about the education loan facility. So I think I'm done with what I wanted to share with you. If you have any specific queries, I would be taking up one by one. Meanwhile, we have got certain questions received from some of the students, those who are looking for admissions. So I will be just reading out these questions, and some of you would be getting answer of your queries out of these questions. So one of the prospective MBA aspirant who want to take admission at BIMTech has asked, can you please tell us the latest ranking of BIMTech? So the latest ranking of BIMTech, which is recently published by Business Today, we are ranked 16th in the private B school list. And in year 2019, NHRDN has published a ranking where we were ranked 6th, and a ranking which is conducted by MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development, and IRF ranking. There in overall MBA ranking, we are ranked 47th. Then there is a candidate who want to know about, I am a fresher with no work experience. Will profile based round be beneficial to those who have work experience. Okay. So as I told you, for shortlisting of candidates applying in the phase 1 till 2nd of December, since most of the entrance exam results won't be available, and some of the candidate would be appearing for ZAT, or they would have appeared only for CAT, and their results are going to be declared in the month of January. So the round which we are going to conduct in December, which is early round or a profile based round, there the shortlisting would be done on the basis of the profile of the candidate. So the profile would include the academic profile or any work experience they have, or the engineering background students. So if you have work experience, definitely you will have edge over other candidates. And moreover, those who join at BIMTech or any B schools, candidate coming with work experience add a lot of value to the class learning, and it also helps in the placement process. So if somebody is coming with work experience of, and the work experience which BIMTech take into consideration for giving weightage is minimum of 12 months. Then there is a student candidate who is asking, her name is Sheetal, will the interview and the other selection process be online this year, or we have to visit BIMTech campus? So as I told you, because of this pandemic times, most of the educational institutions, and as per the government guidelines, uh, it is and because of health issues also, uh, we have to avoid traveling, and if that situation continues, we would be conducting interview or the selection process online. But if everything goes normal and people are allowed to move, then we would definitely conduct the first round of interview in 6 cities, and second round of interview in the month of Feb in 15 cities. And otherwise also, as I told you, we just don't conduct interview process at BIMTech campus. BIMTech is one of the center for selection. Other than that, we cover pan India locations for facilitating a student to avoid traveling to Greater Noida just for the interview process. And if everything goes normal, it would be there in these cities. Otherwise, we would be conducting online interview process. Now, there is a candidate called Lakshay. What are the different scholarships available for the student? So, as I told you, there are two types of scholarships. One is at the entry level, another is academic performance scholarship. At the entry level, during the admission time, there is a scholarship which we call as Basant Kumar Birla scholarship. So candidate those who are applying to us with CAT, ZAT or GMAT score in any of the four program, if they have scored above 85 percentile and they are shortlisted, they appear in the interview, they get the offer letter, they finally join the institute and their course commences, then finally we verify their scores, and these students would be getting 2 lakh rupees of scholarship. This scholarship is going to be waived off partially in all 4 installment 6 monthly tuition fee installments. So that is 50,000 rupees less in each installment. So at entry level, one is the candidate with 85 percentile in CAT, ZAT or GMAT, and other one is the scholarship which is given to the candidate applying under supernumerary category coming from the SAARC nation. There also there is a scholarship of 2 lakh rupees. Then during the academic or their 2 year academic performance in each trimester, mainly in only 4 trimesters, because out of 6 trimesters, there are 4 trimesters where the candidates are going to have the evaluation which is based on their learning, and other 2 trimesters are the training or SIP related trimesters. So in these 4 trimesters, in each section of 60 students for PGDM, out of 240 students those who take admission, there are 4 sections. So each section of 60 student, for IB there is only 60 seats, for retail again 60 seats, and insurance 60 seats. So altogether there would be 7 sections, PGDM 4 and 1 each in IB, retail, insurance. Each section with a topper would be getting in each trimester would be getting a scholarship of 50,000 rupees, and student those who stood second would be getting 25,000. So there is a total scholarship which is disbursed every year is around 21 lakh rupees. Then there is a candidate Mukhil who is asking, I have done engineering computer science, I have knowledge of data sciences, will I get opportunity to enhance my exposure and expertise into these fields? Okay, so as we know that technology is there in every domain, either if it is insurance domain or retail domain or telecom, it is already full of technology, or financial sector or FMCG sector, or you can say automobile sector. So any candidate who is coming with very as you said, like you are coming with a data sciences background, so BIMTech is also offering courses in every trimester in all the courses, which is taking care of IT or ITS business verticals. That is a business specialization. So there are courses introduced looking at industry 4.0 requirements like AI, machine learning, cyber security, data analytics, big data analytics, ethics, privacy, robotics. So these are the courses which are introduced in all the programs. So if anybody who is coming with a background of data sciences would be the best fit to take these courses, and they could be best, they can make themselves best ready for to be accepted by the industry. So it is definitely going to be an advantage for you, and those who are not coming up with, they can equip these competencies which is required by the corporates or recruiters, and they can best fit into the industry requirements. Then there is a candidate called Priyanka. She's asking what will be the approx CAT or MAT cutoffs for this year's. So we basically, I can tell you about the cutoffs of last year, and the cutoffs for this year will totally depends upon the number of applications which we receive, and the quality of student those who apply to us. But over the year, it has been seen that every year the benchmark is slightly going up. So a year before last, for candidate applying through CAT, ZAT or GMAT, so all four programs have got different cutoff eligibility criteria. So for PGDM program, candidate with CAT, ZAT or either of these score, GMAT score, a year before that the cutoff was 70. Last year it was we kept it 70, but the final selection happened at 72.5 for PGDM program, and for CMAT it was 95 percentile. For international business program, CAT, ZAT, GMAT, minimum is 65 percentile to apply. Shortlisting might take place at 65, but last year it was the last candidate who got selected in international business program, the cutoff was 67.5. For retail and insurance program, it is 60 percentile in CAT, ZAT, GMAT, or MAT candidate with 70 percentile or having CMAT with 70 percentile can also apply to retail or insurance program. So MAT is not going to be accepted for program like PGDM or international business. MAT is applicable only for retail management program and insurance business management program. Then we also have a question from Saurabh. Okay, he's one of the father who says, my son is currently working in a startup in Gulf. Do he need to apply in BIMTech through normal admission or supernumerary or through sponsored category? See, what I can say is a candidate can apply under any category if he or she meets the eligibility criteria. Now, if the candidate has already given CAT, ZAT, even if they are there in Gulf, if they have taken up CAT exam or ZAT exam or GMAT exam, they can get into the normal course of admission, that is in the general category, right? And the fee for that is 12 lakh rupees. But suppose if somebody has not given CAT, ZAT or GMAT score, but the candidate's family or the candidate himself is there in any of the country which is outside India, right? or the candidate father, the candidate is in India, but the candidate parents or father is working in foreign country. So they would be treated as people of Indian origin or OCIs, overseas citizens of India, right? So they can apply under supernumerary category. So there is no compulsion or there is no requirement of giving CAT-ZAT or GMAT exam. The fee there also is going to be 12 lakh rupees. Now for candidate who is in India or maybe abroad also, right? But they are not falling under OCI or PIO category, right? Uh, they have not given any CAT-ZAT or GMAT exam. They can apply under corporate sponsored or NRI sponsored category. And there the fee is on the higher side. Instead of 12 lakh rupees, it is 17 lakh rupees for PGDM and international business program, and 15 lakh for retail and uh, insurance business management program. Okay, and there is a question which is sent by Mohit Shetty. I am from South. I am bit worried about coming to North because of the food. Do we get South Indian food in campus, and also approx how many students are there from Southern India in the current batch? Okay, as I told you, BIMTech is a mini India, and though we have around 68-69% of the student majorly coming from Northern India, because Northern India covers major part of the our country, and we get around 9 to 10% of the student coming from southern part. So there are students from Kerala, or there are students coming from deep Kanyakumari to Mangalore, or in any of the southern states. So regarding the food habits, or you can say the food which is provided in the student mess, because the mess is taken care by student body, which is we call it as conduit. There is a food conduit. Now this food conduit mainly decides upon the menu, and they prepare the menu, they suggest the menu to the mess management, and accordingly those dishes are prepared. So almost every week, maybe twice a week or thrice a week, there would be one of the meal, maybe from breakfast till dinner. It is going to have some South Indian flavor, or it is going to be some you can say multi cuisine kind of preparation, where student coming from these 25 or 26 or 27 states would have something of their taste and choice. Then there is a student called Ankit. Do we get opportunity to study abroad while studying at BIMTech, or any foreign faculty comes to BIMTech for teaching? Yes, we do get a lot of foreign faculty. Nowadays, everything is going virtually, but we used to receive a lot of foreign faculty coming from abroad or partner universities for delivering lectures. These are, you can say, faculty members, those who are coming down to India, and then they complete a short course at BIMTech, like for the students. And as you are asking, like, is there any student exchange program? So BIMTech has got tie-up with around 64 partner universities. We have done MOU, and these students are going to these partner institutions for studies or exchange program for a week or two. Sorry, not for a week or two, for 1 term or 2 terms, like for from 3 months to 6 months, and they sometimes get the dual degree certification from the foreign university as well as from BIMTech. So there, these students are mainly going for completing the trimester for studies, or sometimes there are collaborative research projects, and our faculty also go for the faculty exchange program. Their faculty comes to us. Then these students also participate in international conferences, and there are various scholarships also available for reaching out or for going for the exchange program. Then there is a student called Mohit. I am one of the partner in agriculture based startup. Can I pursue it along with my studies? Hope there will not be any issue if I continue it. Okay. Mohit, since you are already into you are part of one of the startup, and you don't want to leave your you can say initiative of startup, then BIMTech has got program which is PGDM executive program, and there is a PGDM online program also. So there also you could be one of the student, but otherwise what I can understand is for a startup, if you can work virtually on collaborative technologies, you can be a full-time student at BIMTech. But for running your startup, if you need any, you could become a part of AIC, that is Atal Incubation Center, which is initiative of Niti Aayog. So BIMTech has got BIMTech is one of the few institutions out of around 4,000 institutions which is selected as setting up AIC, that is Atal Incubation Center. We have around 63 startup incubated at BIMTech. 17 are already like they are working on ground. They have got awards also, and it has been able to get the funding of around 4 crore of exactly 3.83 crores. So this AIC is basically taking care of young entrepreneurial mindset, you can say students or people those who want to start their own businesses. They guide them, they connect them with the VC funders, and they have network of experts, so they guide them also. So both the ways you can work, either you go for a part-time program or executive program or online program, or you could be a full-time student here, and you can make your startup, agriculture startup, part of AIC, and you would be working in better way with all those management skills. Okay, so we have got some more questions pouring up. Uh, Plaksha is saying, can you explain dual degree in insurance field? What is required CMAT or CAT cutoff for admission in IBM program? Okay, uh, for admission in insurance business management program, the eligibility is one is 50% graduation. If you are appearing in final year, you could have aggregate score of 50% or even slightly less. But if you are appearing in 2021, by October it should be aggregate of 50%, and you have to submit the valid graduation score with minimum 50%. For national level test exam, one can apply with CAT, ZAT, GMAT score of 60%, right? Or MAT or CMAT score with 70% to get shortlisted for the interview process. The final selection will based on the final merit, which would be calculated out of different parameters. The weightages are given. So that is the cutoff. Then you are asking, can you explain dual degree in insurance? Okay, so in insurance, there is a LOMA certification, and there is a dual degree program which is offered by CII UK. So it has got certain. Uh, so one can independently do a degree program from CII, but there is a special tie-up between BIMTech and CII. The number of papers required to get the degree of CII. So what CII says that whatever regular course a BIMTech student studies at BIMTech in PGDM IBM program, so they have exempted certain papers, and they say that if two more additional or three more additional paper you clear, because some of the paper you are already studying in the regular program, you will get a dual degree. You will get a degree from CII UK also, and you are also going to have a degree from BIMTech. So that is a dual degree program, and there is a very you can say concessional fees for that. So that is the advantage of doing dual degree through CII. You get the paper exemption, you get the nominal fee advantage, and you are getting a 2 degrees during the same duration if you are able to successfully clear all the papers. Then there is a student called Smriti. She is asking, if I fill MAT right now and give exam in February, So, do I need to apply again in February? No, not at all. So, once any candidate who has applied initially, say somebody who has applied in the month of November, or maybe someone who has applied in last week of September, and they are going to give, say, CAT exam, or as you are saying that you are going to give February MAT. So somebody who has given CAT exam and applied for PGDM program, as because in our application form you can give choices as per the priority for different programs. So there are four options to fill the program priority. Say you said PGDM program, second IB, then retail, then insurance. Now for PGDM program, you appeared for CAT, your result got declared in January, but it might happen that some of the students don't get the required cutoff, which is minimum 70 percentile. So you won't be getting shortlisted for any of the program, right? Because of say if a candidate gets low percentile in CAT. Now, if you are planning to appear, or there might be a situation, any candidate who is planning to appear in February and the CAT was not done good and you don't get the good required result as per the cutoff, then you need not to apply again in the Feb. You just have to update your score, right? So the application has to be done once, but result can be updated at any stage once the results are declared. Then there is a student, Anuj, asking, sir, which are the main recruiters? Okay, now the recruiters list is available on our website also. But if I have to tell you who all are the main recruiters, uh, just a minute. So BIMTech is getting recruiters from all sectors. So there is IT, ITS sector, financial sector, or uh, retail sector, or insurance sector, or banking companies, those who come at BIMTech. Now, to name a few of the, you can say, regular recruiters, those who have been coming to BIMTech for years, uh, if I can share some of the names, like in the banking sector, we have been getting companies like uh, Bajaj, Finserv, or HDFC, Axis Bank. There have been banks, nationalized banks coming up like Central Bank or Union Bank, or consulting companies like KPMG, Deloitte, uh, ENY, IT companies like Infosys, Accenture, Wipro, TCS. In retail, there have been companies like ABRL, that is Aditya Birla Group of companies. We have been getting a lot of insurance companies. Most of the banking sector companies, they are into banking as well as in insurance. Like Reliance Insurance is there, Bajaj is there, HDFC Ergo is there. Uh, there are other popular brokers also, those who come for recruitment. And automobile companies like Maruti is there, Hyundai is there, Tata is there. So they all have been at BIMTech for recruitment. And we have already started with the recruitment of the placement of the batch which is going to pass out in 2021. Then Ashish is asking CMAT cutoff. So CMAT cutoff for PGDM is 95, international business 90, retail and insurance program it is 70. Pawan has asked, is it compulsory to stay in the hostel? As of uh, before COVID, or you can say pre-COVID, it was 100% residential. Nowadays, because of the government regulations, online classes are going on. But then we are hopeful, and government is also guidelines are hopefully going to be there, that we would be operational with complete 100% residential teaching and learning. Then Anuj is asking, what is the last date to fill the application form? So for candidate applying for phase one, that is early round or profile based round, the application is going to close on 2nd of December. So those who wanted to apply under profile based selection process, they can apply. And then for the phase two, it will be reopened and going to be closed on 30th of January. Okay, and there is a question which is from Suresh, why PGDM IB highest package is low compared to the normal PGDM program? If PGDM IB does college arrange port visit, and for international immersion program, how much does a student have to pay? Okay. So let me take you answer the other part of the question. Then I will come to the highest at the package as compared to PGDM program. So international immersion is going to take place since everything is disrupted because of COVID. But it is already always there in the plan, and student those who have passed out in past or even the batch which is going to be placed this year. There have been international immersion program, or you can say industry visits to countries like Dubai or Bangkok or Singapore. And immersion program is going to be introduced this year for the batch which is going to join in 2021. See, everything depends upon the good times which we all are waiting for. Then port visits is a regular feature of international business program. They student do go for Jawaharlal Nehru port, or they go to dry port or in Faridabad, or the port which is there in Kandla or Mumbai, and the other port which is there in Cochin also. Then you are saying why PGDM IB highest package is low compared to the normal PGDM program. So the highest package of any program will depend upon the type of company which comes for. So you are talking in terms of the highest package which I said. PGDM it is 18 lakh and IB it is 13.22 lakh, right? So it depends upon the recruiter as well as the companies or the student also, which comes for the recruitment of these students. So controlling the package is not in the hand of the institute. It is mainly the type of companies which comes, the type of profile they offers. And for PGDM program, it also depends upon the student they recruited, the candidate, the student who got the highest package was meeting up all the criteria or the competencies, or maybe he or she was with work experience, right? So they were offered higher package as compared to the student who was fresher, right? And the type of company which came for the profile to be offered to this particular candidate who got the highest package was comparatively lower than the highest package offered to the PGDM program. But institute would always work for providing better opportunity to the student to get the highest package, right? So it depends on year basis on different you can say external environmental conditions also. What type of packages are going to be offered, and how students are going to get into these companies at what particular CTC, and who is actually going to get it, that also makes difference. So sometime candidate with work experience or maybe freshers would be offered higher, and it is not just comparison between PGDM and IB. Sometimes the highest package is offered to a student who is placed in from a program called insurance business program or retail program. So that way, if you compare program wise, the highest for a specific year, it might have gone up and down, but it depends upon so many multiple factors, right? Then there is a student called Pragya. For the profile based student, do they need to pass the cutoff as well? Yes. So Pragya, as I told you, the application which got opened on 7th of September will close on 2nd December for the profile based round, right? Their interview process will take place in the second week of December, but the result is going to declare by Feb second week, 2021. Because by that time, we would be getting results from CAT or ZAT also. The CAT is going to be declared by January second week, or even the ZAT exam, which takes place in January. The result would be declared by end of January, or maybe max by 10th of Feb. So the result would be declared immediately after that, once the student update the CAT or ZAT score. So, so the CAT score is, or eligibility score is always mandatory to be updated, and that would be considered in the final merit. So that's required for even the profile based candidate. The only advantage of candidate, those who appear in the profile based round, would be one, they get an opportunity to appear for the interview process when usually most of the B schools or colleges, they conduct their interview process only in the month of Feb or March. So when you get a lot of interview calls, sometimes you you miss out, and you get an experience of appearing in selection process wherever the early round takes place, like in BIMTech, like we are going to have in December. So you will have a hands-on experience, or you can say you can ensure that you have at least appeared for interview process of one of the B school. You got the call and you appeared. So at least that assurance is there in your mind that you have already completed the selection process with the one institute. And immediately once the CAT results are or ZAT result is declared, you update your score. If you are fortunate enough to come up in the merit, you will get the offer, right? And you can ensure your seat by making payment. And then once you get chance to appear for other institution interview selection process, you can appear there. But your thought process of joining any institute will finally depend upon your priorities, like what actually you are looking for on different parameters. So you can take decision by the time the course commences. Sivanshi is asking if we have filled the form right now on the basis of MAT scores, and then after December interview round, we want to fill up, fill up or update our CAT or CMAT score as well. So we will no longer be eligible. So, so if a candidate who applies right now and update the MAT score, because the candidate has given the MAT, and then suppose the candidate is shortlisted on the basis of profile based round. So somebody who applies now with the MAT score becomes eligible for the interview process, appears for the interview in the December. They can always update their CAT score or the CMAT score. Once the CAT and CMAT score is updated, they would be given offer. Now, suppose the candidate is not shortlisted on the profile based round. That could also be one of the probability, right? The candidate is not throughout first class. The candidate does not meet any, does not have any work experience or engineering background. If the candidate is not shortlisted, then the candidate would be passed on to the phase 2, right? Even if somebody miss interview process, we do consider them for the second phase. So you are not shortlisted through the profile based round, but you gave the MAT. So MAT score would not be considered for shortlisting in the phase 1, and you are appearing for CAT exam or CMAT exam after December, right? Once the phase 1 is over. So in that case, you would be considered for the selection process, shortlisting process, once you update your CAT score or CMAT score. So that makes you eligible. If you are eligible, you would be shortlisted, right? So that is, those could be some of the probabilities. Okay, so we are going to have some more questions. Okay. So Abhishek Tyagi is asking if I can easily come to college from my home, then why would I need to pay approximately 2 lakhs per year? What's the benefit of hostel compulsion? Okay. Okay, Abhishek. See, this question is debatable. Though pre-COVID, we uh, there is a different type of learning in the residential B school, right? You learn from your peers. You learn outside the classroom. You have to work on projects. But COVID has made us learn many things, even if we are not meeting each other face to face. So that is why I am saying that this is debatable. But we are missing certain things when we are not there on campus with our students, even as faculty or even as students. So residential B school will give you a different type of experiential learning, right? The learning is going to happen 24 by 7. Though we are well equipped with the technology to conduct our classes online on virtual background in synchronous mode or asynchronous mode, the classes are perfectly happening from even now. Everybody from class 1 to 12th class or maybe higher education, if you have capabilities, technology enabled systems, everything is possible, right? Now, as you said, what would be advantage if why there is compulsion of stay in hostel? Though we have been able to manage this in the corona times, right? Students are not here, classes are happening, they all are getting the clear cut objective, what they have to learn, how they have to present, how they have to work on project, how they have to use the collaborative technology. But still there is something missing. And we as residential B school and all top B schools or colleges or universities, those who have got residential facilities, there is a different type of kind of learning, that is experiential learning, where you learn inside the classroom and more outside the classroom with your peers, even the guest lectures or events, because there are certain things which we are not able to do. So it is not just the academic learning, it has got learning which is there are so many events where the group tasks have to be done or the assignments have to be done or certain events to be conducted. So all those things are missing, right? Though if COVID compel us that it has to be the way in which we have to do, we are bound to do that. But certainly a residential campus will have edge over other things. But then as the time permits, we have to manage with what we can do best in these times. And there is a query which has come from Raghuram. What is the benefit of profile based call? Okay. So the benefit of profile based call, as I told you, you get an opportunity to appear for the selection process of B school like us, or maybe there are other B schools, those who conduct. When most of the B schools start conducting their interview process in the month of January or post declaration of CAT result or ZAT result. So usually most of the selection calls goes in the month of Feb, and you get different dates for the selection process, interview process. So sometime there is a clash or you miss it out. But now, as I told you, that the total disruption has happened, right? Everything is possible these days, and we all are coping up with the current scenario, right? So the profile based, the advantage is you are ensuring to appear for the selection process of one of the B school of your choice, where you have applied, you are shortlisted. So you appear for the interview process. Then once the CAT and ZAT results are declared, or the eligibility exam which you have indicated in your application form, you update the score if the results are available. We would be, because majorly student apply through CAT or ZAT, because we have got highest number of seats in PGDM program, 240 seats, and even in IB program, the seats are filled through CAT and ZAT. So majorly, and in other programs also, so majorly students give CAT exam or ZAT exam. So once you update your score, your results are going to be prepared. So you can ensure that you have at least cracked one of the offer and you have in hand Okay, later on, because every student need to analyze where to finally join, because it's a decision for career, right? So one option, if you have and you appear for the interview process for 2 3 other B school, you have better choice to finally decide upon. So that is the only advantage of profile based round. Then Anhima is asking, can you tell us what placement in HR? Okay. Uh, so, uh, so I at the moment I don't have the exact figure for the placement for candidate those who have taken specialization in HR. But if you see the average, because HR specialization is only offered in PGDM program. So PGDM program offers specialization in marketing, finance, operation, and HR. So around 15 to 20% of the total batch is doing HR specialization. Why so? Because that is how the industry demand is. So any organization which has got which is into sales or services or marketing or FMCG or automobile or telecom or IT, ITS or financial sector, they would have more of people working in sales, marketing or operations, right, or finance area, and HR would be very concentrated small team. So the average package is usually close to the average package of the batch, which is 8.27, which is 8.27. So it would never be 10% plus minus could be there, but it would never be too lower than the average package. So that is the HR specialization. But since you have raised the query, we will have the exact detail, and you can get in touch with admission office at admission@bimtech.ac.in for getting the exact. If you want to know, we would be able to tell you what all companies the student have been and what is the average for the previous year. Okay, Sandeepan is asking if a person has got good academic plus 6 years of work experience but not able to score good score in MAT, CMAT or ZAT, can he/she still gets into PGDM general category on the basis of the selection process, work experience and past academic record? Okay. Sandeepan, it's good that you have got rich experience. That is 6 years of experience. Uh, that depends upon the quality of experience you have. But if you have stayed in industry or any company or you have worked in different domain for 6 years, that means you would be having knowledge about the industry. But if I tell you about the selection hierarchy, the selection is basically decided upon based on one is the minimum graduation requirement of 50%. Second is the national level eligibility test, right? The national level eligibility test could be CAT, ZAT, GMAT, MAT or CMAT. There are 5 which we consider. So anywhere which and that is according to the program, right? Now that is for getting shortlisted for application, minimum 50% graduation along with eligibility score as required for different programs, different cutoffs. Now combination of these two will decide upon you getting shortlisted for the interview process in the general category, merit category. If you don't meet these two criterias, you will not be shortlisted for the general category, right? So as you said, just based on the selection, the best you perform in the interview process, but you are not going to be shortlisted for the interview process if you are not meeting the eligibility criteria. If the cutoffs are not there, despite you being performing good in interview process or having good work experience or you have got past academic record all throughout first class or maybe distinctions, but that will not work because you need to be all-rounder, not just having good work experience or academically throughout in 9 pointer or above 75 percentile. So that is the entry level barrier. Like you have to be a graduate with 50% and eligibility exam meeting the cutoff criteria for different program for general category. Otherwise, one can always apply under a supernumerary category if you meet the requirement of OCI or PIO, or your parents, or maybe you have been there in any outside India. And the last option is there, that is NRI, and the corporate is sponsored. So there, these eligibility exam are not required, but 50% graduation is the requirement. So I think I have received a lot of questions, and I hope that your queries are answered. You can go through this live video in case you feel that there is answer which you are looking for, or otherwise you can reach out at our admission office at BIMTech. You can mail at admission@bimtech.ac.in, or you can visit our website bimtech.ac.in. On the admission page, you will find all the contact details, and you can directly reach out to us. Though most of the information related to admission, about the institute, about the placement, about the faculty is available on our website. Still, if you want to reach out to us on our website, there is a chatbot also which will answer most of your queries. But you can always get in touch over telephone or mobile or email. We would be happy to answer your queries. Thank you so much.